This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the Cedar Rapids Follies, which is coming up next weekend. Jen Boettger, who is the associate producer. Jen, thanks for being here.
Thanks. Thanks for having us.
And Dave Bolt, who did the show for years and years and years, and you're not in the show this year.
I am not.
You're just kind of here as the official Follies historian.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. I did it some 20 years or so. I don't know. I asked Bob Guider the other day how many years that I had been in it. He said, "Oh, I don't know. 20-some maybe." That's what he said.
After 20, you just stop counting.
Yeah, you stop counting.
That's right.
So this is the 35th anniversary.
Yes,
of
well,
the
it's the 35th show.
Or the
yes.
35th show,
yes,
I should say.
Yes, it is.
And it's next weekend at the Paramount.
Correct.
We'll talk specific dates and show times and how to get tickets and all that stuff in a minute. But Dave, as the historian,
Yes.
For those who don't know, tell us just a little bit about how the Follies started.
Well, I know that Karma Lou had came to Bob Guider and asked if they were going to do a fundraiser for the symphony and wanted to know if he could put together a show, and they decided that it would be fun to do Follies, Ziegfeld Follies show.
Kind of a review, musical review.
Exactly, musical review. And so Bob put it together, and it was, I remember that first one was about a little over, about 2:20, 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it was quite spectacular and received very, very well in the community. And then what's so funny, after the show, I think we did 4 performances, as I remember. But after the show, Karma Lou said, "Boy, that was fun. Let's do it again." And Bob thought, "Oh no, this is just like a one-time deal." Because as Dennis knows, it was 12 years, right?
I did the show for 12 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As you know, I mean, costumes and sets, and it's an enormous project. And I believe that first one was 60 or 70 people in it. Mm-hmm. And so when she came, she said, "Let's do another Ziegfeld show." And he said, "Well, we kind of covered Ziegfeld." And so she said, "Well, maybe Ziegfeld around the world or something, I don't know," and that's the way it started, and he wrote one every year.
Rinse and repeat for 34 more years.
That's exactly right, Dennis.
And of course, those in the Cedar Rapids theater community know that Bob was the director at Jefferson High School, legendary director at Jefferson High School for years and years, but probably at this point equally well known for being the founder of the Follies and the director for the first 30 shows or thereabouts, retired a few years ago.
Yep.
And Jen, you are in what, your first or second year as on the production staff?
Yes, my second year as production staff. I've performed in the Follies a number of times since the late 90s. But I think I've done 7 shows as a performer. But last year, Jan McCool, who was the current
Dennis
producer.
and I did 12 and I did 20.
There we go.
I just wondered. Yeah, you did what, 7?
7.
Yes,
I know.
yeah.
Okay.
Amateur.
All right. Yeah, so Jan approached me last year to ask to come on board to help her with the production side of it, and I couldn't resist. It's near and dear to my heart. I've known it since I was a child, so it's something I wanted to do.
How do you think the show has changed through the years?
One big change was the one I remember so distinctly was when we did a Disney one, and that show was 3 hours and 5 minutes. And needless to say, dress rehearsal week, there was some cuttings. Because it was like, oh my God, the first act is just over now. It was close to 3 hours. They cut it back to about 2:35, 2:40, and since then they've really. What's this year's show? About an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Oh no, we're coming in right at 2 hours.
2 hours with intermission.
With the intermission.
Yeah, right.
So, and we try to do that. We try to be respectful
and
to
that's
people's
respectful.
times.
Yeah.
The right length.
Yes,
the right length. You don't want to feel like you need to bring a cot.
We don't want 2 intermissions. No. So.
It always falls on the MC that, and as I say, Dennis was for 12 years, because sometimes they'll cut out a number, and then as an MC, you have to bridge what they cut out,
Right.
as you well know.
In case there's a through line, you may have to fill in the bones of the story just a little bit.
Exactly.
Just a little bit, yes.
exactly.
And that's what's neat about Follies is that it's organic, it's brand new every year. So when you say what's changed, you could really technically say the whole show changes every year.
That's right.
Because we start with a concept or a theme and build around that. And so while it has the proponents that everybody comes to expect, like the big production numbers and the costumes and the wonderful featured solos and some
You
comedy
bet.
and lots of dance, there's usually a unique theme every year. The exception would probably be years like this year where it's an anniversary and we want to spotlight and highlight some of the real showstoppers from the past.
Okay, so the theme is I'm Still Here.
Correct.
Still here, 35 years, 35
later.
shows. Yep.
Yes, which is a takeoff of the 1971 Sondheim musical Follies.
Sure.
Yes.
And then the program, the material, is kind of gathered from highlights from past shows.
Yes. Well, yes and no. We are taking some of the very best of previous shows and adding in some fresh touches.
Okay.
Obviously, all the talent is not the same as it has been throughout the years. Every year it's different.
No,
And-
some of us are broken down.
Stop. No, we're bringing you back. You just
Yeah,
haven't
right.
been told yet.
Let me ask you, you say things from previous years. What is the James Bond? Is that a dance thing, or what is that?
The James Bond set, I don't have what year we've done them in the past, but it was really well received, and we've brought it back this year.
Yeah.
And it incorporates everybody in the company in one way or another. We have the singers who will be singing, and the dancers dance.
That's cool.
Singer-dancers do both.
Yeah.
We also have a featured dancer who sings while we have a featured soloist, and that's what's kind of neat about it, is that even though we're doing a James Bond set with a lot of the James Bond music we're throwing in a brand new song of the Academy Award-winning song that
Yep.
won the Oscar with a featured solo. So it's a way of putting new freshness into something we've already done.
Writing on the wall.
Yep, writings on the wall.
From Spectre. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
our own Tim Parr will be singing that. We're really excited.
And the cast is nearly 100 people, right?
It is. We are at 86 on stage this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
86, and that's a lot.
Yes, it
And-
is.
So that really puts this, apart from, we have so many tremendous theater companies and shows and programs up and down
Yes,
the corridor.
absolutely.
But most of, if you get 35, 40 people, that's about the most you're ever going to see in
Correct.
any local production except for this one.
Yes,
right.
that's what really kind of makes us unique, is that we have ages ranging from 9 to 90 this year, and 86 people, and it's just a miraculous feat every year. It just blows my mind when I watch it all come together. And I have to really do a shout out to LeVar Davis Kidd, our choreographer, because he just amazes me how he can fold in layers of the company, and then suddenly all 86 are on stage.
That's right.
And a big production number, and it makes...
And
it
of
looks-
course, the more you have, the costumes and everything
yeah.
gets bigger, Dennis.
Right.
Remember,
Right.
everything
Yeah.
gets bigger.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
is. Yeah, spectacle. Spectacle is a good word. It is.
It is.
Those are my
It
favorite
is,
parts.
it is,
I like
it
the
is.
big production numbers and
It is, yeah.
confetti and
So the show is next weekend.
Yes.
Just 3 performances because the
Right.
Paramount is a spacious theater, so you
Yes.
don't need to do a
No.
3-week run or something like
well,
that.
and it's a busy place too. And so in the past we were able to have the Paramount dark for a week and have a second weekend. And now Paramount's a busy place. There's a lot of wonderful things coming in and out of Cedar Rapids.
That's for
And
sure.
so
That's
right
for
now
sure.
we're only at the one weekend.
So, and then 2 shows on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Is
Yes,
that it?
a
What are the
matinee on
times?
Saturday at 2 o'clock. And then the evening Saturday show is at 7:30. And then a Sunday matinee at 2 o'clock.
And tickets are like Saturday afternoon's a good time to get a ticket. Is that still
I think they're
different?
all. I was just looking at those, and all the shows have really good seats
Good,
still. Yes,
good,
yes.
good.
We've been doing a really good job of balancing the sales, and so
Good.
every performance will have a good seat for.
And is ticketing done through Orchestra Iowa and the Paramount?
Yes, it is. Yes, so you can go to artsiowa.com or crfollies.com and find the links that you need to get to the page. Otherwise, the Paramount or the Orchestra Iowa box office phone number.
366-8203.
Thank you, David Bolt.
Yeah, there's a guy who's done a couple of radio commercials in his career, I suspect.
Yes, you can call and get your tickets there.
Jen, favorite moment in the show?
Oh boy, I knew you were going to ask me that, Dennis. It's really hard because there's so many things I like about it. Like I said, since I was a little girl, I really love all the big production numbers. So, however, I also like, there's a wonderful, at the top of the second act, we're doing Sunday, from Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh,
Love that.
Wall
Yeah.
of sound coming from that ensemble is just will blow you away, and it's just amazing.
it's one of his great songs, I think.
Oh, I know, and they barely move, so you'd think, oh gee, but it's actually just wonderful. And then of course our finale is always big and shiny and with lots going on.
And you're doing 42nd Street, which is always
Oh
great.
yeah. So
Well, no spoilers, no
we're doing a
spoilers.
whole New York section, so that's pretty much covers all songs that have ever been done about New York. We're doing. Anyway, ending with a couple of very popular ones. What I really like too is, I think this was really brilliant of Damon to put in the show this year, is that we're talking about that we're still here and where we've been and everything, but we end the show with a big New York finale. But then we have Joe Weetrick coming in to sing "The Best Is Yet to Come."
Wow.
So it's and that, which is really neat, and it leads into a special surprise at the end by the company.
Okay, and we aren't going to spoil that.
No,
We
no,
must
but
mention Damon Cole, though. He's been with it a long time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
He's
yeah.
been the musical director almost since the very beginning.
Yes, this is his 32nd year. I was doing a little review to see who sort of had big anniversaries this year, and he is the one in our company who's
32nd.
been there the longest, 32nd.
Yeah, Al Kepke started it out. But then,
Yeah. So
then Damon took.
that's right, and he still creates the show.
He's still here.
86 performers from up and down the corridor, ages 9 to 90. Really no other show like it. One of my favorite things. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I did the show for years and years, and in fact performed with every member of my family.
Yes.
In the
Well,
Follies.
and that's just it. Follies is a family, and it is an opportunity. It's probably not. There probably aren't that many opportunities for where fathers can perform next to their daughters, or husbands and wives can be right next to each other, or sisters. And we have, and every year we have sets of families who come in and do this together, which is really neat. That's very special.
Your website again is?
www.crfollies.com.
And there's a link to the tickets there. You can just
Yes,
go
there
directly
is.
to the orchestra box office at
Sure.
artsiowa.com.
Yes, if you're familiar with getting tickets from Orchestra Iowa, then you probably already know the way to go. But if you're new to it, a great way to start is to go to our website first, and we'll make sure you get to the right place.
Okay. Follies, I'm Still Here, 35th anniversary show, April 9 and 10, right? I got the dates right?
Yes,
9 and
you
10?
did.
Yep.
Thank you.
April 9 and 10 at the Paramount Theater. Thanks so much for coming in. Good luck with it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dennis.
Thanks for having us.